That's how desperate he is to finally win one of these. And, Chris, when they put out there, because the report from yesterday, Cowboys have offered Micah Parsons a contract that would make him the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. That means that the Cowboys have put together a package with a new money average that is just a tick above Jamar Chase at $40.25 million per year in new money, okay? It doesn't say anything about the structure.
Exactly.
Doesn't say anything about the guarantees.
Right. Could be backloaded with
workout
Fugazi
bonuses.
Numbers. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It could have the Tyreek Hill, phony baloney back-end years, the Devontae Adams, phony baloney back-end years. The Bengals tried that with Jamar Chase last year. They gave him a deal that would have made him the highest-paid receiver, highest-paid player other than quarterback in all of football, but the structure was caca, to use a technical term. And when this gets put out there, here's what it does. It's aimed at getting heat on the player for being greedy and being selfish. Hey, Michael, what's the problem? What are we talking about here? Jerry's offered to make you the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. And you just said if you got $40 million a year, you'd be the happiest man on earth. Well, if you're going to be the highest paid non-quarterback, you're making at least 40 because right now it's 40.25. So, Micah, what's wrong with you? Don't you want to win? Why are you being selfish? Why don't you do the deal? It reminds me of what the Giants did years ago to Eli Manning when he was coming up for a contract and they were looking at the franchise tag.
Yeah.
And the way that his contract worked and his cap number worked, the franchise tag would have been more than any other quarterback was making per year. And they leaked he's demanded to be the highest paid player in all of football. And people lost their shit because it's like Eli Manning's not the high, and he's not the best quarterback in the NFL right now. That's the things that they'll do to try to poison the fan base against the player. And that report, to me, is proof positive the Cowboys are trying to make Cowboys fans upset with Micah for not just signing the damn contract and being done with it.
Agreed, 100%. This is exactly what it is. It's pro-team propaganda to pressure the player on the heels of saying we don't want to talk to the agent of the player. We just want to talk to the player so I can swindle him and trick him to get him sign a contract that's not the best for him. I'm waiting for the day where then the player comes out and releases some of those terms of that contract that's offered and then just shows everybody and goes, hey, here we go. I'm going to put this on Instagram or X, and you want to know why I'm not signing the contract? Because there's bull crap like this, and put it out there. Micah Parsons seems like he's the type of guy that's willing to do that type of stuff. Just with that, what he did yesterday, that's impressive. I like Micah. I do. And that's why I'm a fan of him. He's got a great perspective of the sport, knowledge, passion, everything there. And, Micah, I know you got Jerry's number. Don't call it too much. Don't only when need be, because don't play his game. Like I said, if he wants to play your game with negotiating with you, then you ask him to play some tackle football with you too. That'll be the even swap there.
Or maybe he should set it up so Jerry starts getting all those freaking easy pass toll. Yeah, have you gotten those text messages? You have an unpaid easy pass toll, and they're going to come arrest you.
Yeah.
Maybe he should get Jerry's. Maybe he should put Jerry's number into that pipeline.
Put it out there. Yeah, so he's got to deal with that.
I mean, Jerry falls into the demographic that usually gets taken by those kind of scams. So I don't know. Maybe Micah can set it up so whatever.
Hey, easy. You're going to be in that demographic in another month or two.
Am.
All right.
Yeah. I already am. But you know what? You know what I do? Every time I get one of those, should I say what I respond with?
You say F
every
you?
time I get one of them?
Yeah.
I say every time.
Right.
And I enjoy it. Every time I get one, I enjoy it. And here's what's going to happen. One of these days, there's going to be a legitimate communication that someone is sending to me, and I think it's a scam, and I'm going to respond with that, and it's probably going to blow like the biggest opportunity in my life. But it will have been worth it.
It's on brand.
All right.
It's on brand.
I get a little, and I'll say this before we go, because I know we need to take a break. Folks, there's a lot of bullshit in the world right now on a lot of fronts, and I feel like some of the bullshit that has infiltrated the non-sports world, like they're using it now. We've been talking for the last 70 minutes about how games are being played with words and semantics and pretexts for what people are really trying to do. And Jerry Jones is just being blatant about it. And, you need people like us, and I've kind of pulled Chris into my big top of stirring up shit. over the past 7 years, but I think Chris was already inclined to join me in this quest.
Yep.
We're trying to like keep people say, why do you hate the NFL? We just because we're willing to say what they're doing wrong, that means we love it. That means we're trying to make it better. We don't want it to become a game where if one team is doing something well, you can band together and take away the thing they do well. We want football to be about football, not this other stuff. And we don't like these impediments to guys having what they have earned in their pockets because the owner of the team is trying to pull one over on them. So, it's not easy because it pisses people off, but somebody has to do it. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of people that get screwed in the process.
That's right. That's 100% right. And I know we got a lot of people in the NFL who know that. I have people come up all the time that are like, hey, I keep challenging, or I like what you guys said on the show today. That needs to be said. We've been trying to say that to the league for 5 or 10 years. I get stuff like that all the time. It's out of love. There's no question about that. I feel like even Roger Goodell knows that when I see him sometimes, that he's got like, he probably looks at both of you like, oh, God, here's those bastards. But I do think there's a respect that he knows that we challenge the league and that we know that, he knows that we have love for the game that way. And hopefully, the fans can know that too, and I think our listeners know that for sure.
Well, and the fact that we'll do it, it actually causes those who have we're not getting manipulated here. We run it all through our crap filter as to whether or not we believe in the cause or the issue. But I'll have people specifically reach out and say, hey, you need to be aware of this thing that's happening, and we know you're the only one that will talk about this, that no one else will.
Right.
So, good, bad, or otherwise, that's what we do. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.